The character that you like is Aeon in civilian form and Uncanny Valley in superhero form. It's cool for you to like her more than Marinette. Thomas did say that she's his favorite character. However, I wanted to ask, do you think any aspect of Aeon is racist? I came across a few people on YouTube, two of whom are YouTubers themselves, who think it was racist. They say that Aeon's superhero name is disrespectful because the creators assigned Uncanny Valley to a black girl and that her skin changes when she's in her superhero form. Personally, I don't see it, but I'm white myself, so I don't think my opinion is valuable, but my friends also say that she doesn't see it and she's not white. What do you think? Do you think there's any aspect of Aeon's design that is racist? I don't think I'm qualified to answer this question. Hey guys, what is up? It is TVC, and for posterity's sake, I think I should finish reading that comment I started with earlier. I replied to this person, people think everything is racist these days, and it was from that moment I decided to make this video asking, is Aeon racist? But going back to the comment now, I see that there have been more replies, so let's read them. Ugh, God, my mouth just doesn't want to speak English today. Hey? Fuck. Let's read them. The virtual celebrity. I know, it's quite annoying and, frankly, a bit dangerous. The word might lose all its meaning, and when something truly racist comes, people might sweep it under the rug because of all the times it's been misused. By the way, thank you for responding. It's really awesome hearing from you. Thank you. I like to respond to my viewers too. I'm really sad that I went into a severe depression and I stopped replying for months, and that keeps me up at night. But Laura, I do need to preface that you did mention that you're white. So you saying that racist, people calling things racist might lose its meaning, some people might take that the wrong way. I don't, because I have no emotions for people to hurt, but I can understand other people thinking you have no right to say that word would lose its meaning. But also, as a white person, I'm pretty sure maybe you've probably been accused of being racist, and you think, okay, the more people that accuse people of not being racist, people who are not racist of being racist, might make it lose its meaning. So I understand where you're coming from, but be careful because not many people will or will do. Then Hologram Master said, at Laura Hugel, to understand the racism, you have to actually look up what the name Uncanny Valley really means. So here it is. Uncanny Valley, used in reference to the phenomenon whereby a computer-generated figure or humanoid robot bearing a near identical resemblance to a human being arouses a sense of unease or revulsion in the person viewing it. Giving a black girl a name that basically means you should be revolted by her appearance is pretty racist. Now, I have read that, and I think my entire perspective on this conversation has changed. This is why I like talking before I read other people's opinion. I get swayed way too easily. Now, do I think, me personally, TVC, Faiza, do I think that Uncanny Valley, Aeon is racist? No, I fucking love this girl's design to hell and back. They could have easily just put an American. Like I said in my is the Eagle Miraculous costume a hit or miss? They could have easily, very fucking easily, just not given it to a Native American girl, but they did. This one, they gave it to a black girl, the most wholesome and sweet black girl in existence. Like, I love Alia, I love Nino, but I love Aeon. I love looking at her. She's perfect. And I understand the revulsion, pun intended, well, not intended, but the revulsion of her being called Uncanny Valley. But at the end of the day, we need to remember she is a robot. She is not human. She might have been the one to choose an African American female appearance. And her robot form, she got 3 eyes. That is uncanny. But then again, we have to ask ourselves, when her mother created her, we assume her mother is an allegory for Superman. Well, Superman, Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, Captain America, all the people with the American flags in them. We assume she created her, which is something like a Tony Stark would do. So is her mother also a Tony Stark kind of figure? Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. When she created her, did she create her human form first, then the robot form second? So is she like black first, then a robot? Or did she create, like I said, the robot form, and her robot form, she chose to be a black girl from there? So is she a robot first and then a black girl second? Which I can already tell how people can be offended by that statement. But then it has to be intent. Did they intend for it to be racist, or did it just accidentally come off that way? Because now that I think about it, it's like, okay, how did they miss that? Was it just put in there to say, oh, black people are uncanny? Which nobody can be openly racist like that. Like, come on. Like, you can't create your show. You can't have like both Marinette and Adrian's best friends be people of color and then just be blatantly racist in this regard. I just feel like they had these two different concepts. Like, they wanted a black girl and then they also wanted a robot, and the robot's name happened to be Uncanny Valley, and they didn't want to leave that idea, so they just mashed it together. I do that sometimes. I might have two ideas or an idea and I really want to keep it, and I just jam it into my story against all rhyme, reason, or logic to make it work. 9 times out of 10 it works. Hell, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. But in this case, it creates this because the robot's design with her head bands and everything cascading, it gives this Egyptian vibe that I fucking love. But then again, that whole thing, she cannot be any other ethnicity because of how her robot form looks. So then you assume, did her mother design her with the intent of being black? Then we have to remember that these two women adopted these two girls. And then again, it's like, okay, adopted parents, do they choose who they get to adopt, or do they just want to adopt it? Did they want to adopt a Native American girl and then have a black daughter, so they just built one? But then again, who are we to say why she decided to call herself Uncanny Valley? Because this could have just been Aeon's own decision. But then again, I get we should separate the show from the creators. Why did the creators create a character named Uncanny Valley and then have her be a black character, but she's also a robot? Because in the LGBT community, sorry if I'm deviating a bit, but in the LGBT community, there's this trope, I think it's called bury your gays. No, that's if the gays die. I think it's when gay people are alluded to like otherworldly creatures like aliens or monsters or just something other, not human. And the LGBTQIA plus community complains that they don't like being allocated or attributed or seen as other. They want to be portrayed as normal people, just normal people in normal lives with their normal girlfriends. They are not different from the person they're dating, and the person they're dating is not different from them. They're all humans. Everyone is a human being. So in this case, even though Aeon, we don't know her sexuality, but she's black. And also when there are shows that like to address racism and such, they like to put other creatures in the role of the oppressed, i.e. Star versus the forces of evil. There's a lot of complaints that why didn't they just use Marco and his family, who are obviously Mexicans, and they can easily slip into the role of being an oppressed minority, but they just had to go a different direction and use monsters instead. Now, that one is, are you trying to attribute the suffering of an entire culture to monsters? So because then the person that you're trying to, the allegory of which you're trying to relate to that person, the person can feel, okay, am I a monster? Am I seen as a monster? I'm a human being, and we shouldn't be using monsters as replacements for human beings just so people don't feel uncomfortable. Because I think in Star Versus, the argument could be that, oh, we put monsters so that people won't feel uncomfortable. Then the people who are suffering, they're uncomfortable, but we should make the people watching uncomfortable as well, so they know that this is not okay. So in Aeon's case, they made her a robot. That is attributing her to something not human, and she's a black character who is very much human. I get the differentiations, but at the end of the day, if we say all black characters must be human, all Native Americans, Chinese, Europeans, everybody just has to be this, and that, we stop ourselves from getting variation, variety, and difference. Because I love Aeon as she is, as a robot, as a black girl. I love her. But if we take that away, we could have just gotten another bland, generic American character, white hair, blonde hair, blue eyes, and we'd accuse the show of not having diversity. And when they choose to have diversity, we are annoyed that that diversity is not the way we want. should it have then been that Aeon's character should have been changed from a robot to a human, then people wouldn't be as offended. But then again, she did get cataclysmed, which is something a normal human being just wouldn't survive. Hell, as a robot, she wasn't supposed to survive, but we just let it slide. So her being a robot had to be necessary, wasn't a necessary thing to happen, so that Adrian Cat Noir could cataclysm her, so that story progression could go the way it did. Now, should it have been switched? Should Jessica have been Uncanny Valley and Aeon been the Ego Miraculous? That raises a whole bunch of questions, because now it's, oh, you cataclysmed the Native American. That's interesting. But then again, you cataclysmed a black person, and it's just, it's either one of them should have just been white, but then again, if they had been white, the show could have still just gotten away with it, because people would have been tripping balls for Jessica being the Ego Miraculous. That Uncanny Valley being white wouldn't have changed anything. But they wanted to have minority girls, and they did. And I think we should be focusing on that, and not the fact that, oh, this character happened to be a robot named Uncanny Valley. But then again, it could have just been argued, just change her name from Uncanny Valley to anything else, and this just wouldn't be a problem. But then there'd still be the people who would accuse Thomas of making the black chick a robot, othering them. So there's just no winning here, and I can't believe I'm the one defending Thomas on this, just saying it's probably just a goof. It's just so many things they wanted to do, and it just happened to be that way, and it just can be interpreted as racist. And already Thomas has a slew of allegations against him, so this is really not helping his case. And also, again, I feel like I am literally the last person to be talking about this, because as much as you see me as, oh, the perfect voice, I'm black and everything, I am not really black. I am African. I like to make that distinction, even though a lot of people probably get mad at me for it. I am not oppressed, believe it or not. Africans are the second largest ethnicity in the world. My culture, Hausa, we are one of the largest and most populous bastards in my country. And I'm also a Muslim, the top two religions in my country. And because I'm just gonna choke today. And because my culture is so populous, there's probably speaking a lot more Muslims in my country. So even though you can see some tweets saying, oh, I'm so oppressed, I won't say I'm oppressed, I'll say I'm hated. Yeah. If you break me down from what I am, if you know the country I'm from, you understand why I say I'm hated. West African, do the math. But in terms of population, I am so privileged. I have never been in a space or room where I felt different. Hell, ever since I think started primary school to secondary school, there's only been like 1 or 2 Christian girls in my class. Everybody is Hausa just like me. Everybody is African just like me. Everybody speaks my native language. So I don't understand being different or being oppressed or feeling left out. So I literally feel like Laura here, whereas I have no right to speak on this subject because I am not black. I don't have that black experience. My forefathers were not slaves. I want to say unfortunately, but I think that I should say fortunately. I don't know what to say there. Hell, if we probably break it down, my ancestors are probably the bastards that sold the slaves. But unlikely. I think I asked my mom and she said where my ancestors were are so different from where the bastards were that sold the slaves. They were probably running away. No, I don't think we were the runaways. No. I think we were the kings, the queens. I'm a northerner. Where the slavery happened was in the south. I am a descendant of the north. King of the North. Sorry, I couldn't help myself, but yeah. Bottom line is, I cannot speak to the Aeon situation being racist because I am literally too privileged. I am on the same level as a white person, so I don't feel I have a right to say if it is racist or not. But that's where you come in, my dear, sweet, lovely viruses and viewers. What do you think? I don't care if you're as white as French toast. That makes no sense. White as white bread, wheat, I don't know, paper, or if you're as black as a black hole, a black horse. Now I'm comparing black people to horses. I should quit while I'm ahead. I don't care. Black, white, blue, green, Asian, Caucasian, European, African, Australian. Aren't Australians like just descendants of European. What else do we got? Mexican, South American, North American, even people from Canada, wherever you are in the world. Let me know. What's your thoughts on Aeon? I feel this is a conversation we should have because it can be interpreted so many ways. I wouldn't be surprised if there are other black people who do feel like, yeah, she's not racist. Stop accusing everything of being racist. Or there are other people like, no, you just don't get it. And that's true. I don't get it. But this is my opinion. But again, I feel I'm not allowed to have it. No, I'm allowed to have it. I'm just not allowed to express it because I don't understand the struggles of others. But please, please, please be respectful to every and anybody in the comment section down below. I want this to be a safe place for people to express themselves. If you feel like Aeon is not racist, I want you to be comfortable in telling me honestly why you think that is. If you think she's racist, I also want you to feel comfortable telling me why that is. And then the people who think she is and isn't should be able to debate themselves and come to an understanding. Is this just a mistake? Was this intentional? Was this pre-planned? Maybe we can figure it out together, because that's what I want. I just want to talk. So you've heard what I have to say. Now I want to hear what you have to say. I think it's an honest goof from Thomas, where he didn't think things through, or it just happened to fall together in the most unholy and unfortunate of ways, because Thomas has been hyping up this character for the longest time. He did say she's his new favorite. So why would he favorite a character that's racist? Or was he looking forward to his racist portrayal of her? I don't know. I won't put anything past anybody, but I just feel it's a goof. I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you so much for watching. You can do all the things. I feel scummy even saying it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Patreon, merch, my Teespring, I got stickers, I got clothes, Discord, if you want to talk about any and everything. My Twitter is always open. You can see me have breakdowns and psychotic rants over there. What else? Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. But bottom line, thank you for being here. But with that being said, my dear sweet lovely viruses, this is TBC. Mwah. Signing out.